It was September 2nd, 1945. The world had held its breath for almost 6 years of fire, fury, and total war. And now, in Tokyo Bay, something unprecedented was about to happen. Aboard the battleship USS Missouri, anchored among metal giants and the silent, battered city in the distance, leaders from every corner of the globe watched as 2 delegations stepped forward, one from the victors, one from the vanquished. The Japanese delegation, led by Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu, his leg crippled by an assassination attempt years ago, ascended to the deck, his every step slow, heavy with the weight of defeat and the hope of surviving his people. Across from him, General Douglas MacArthur loomed, the supreme commander, gold braid gleaming in the morning sunlight, flanked by admirals, generals, and representatives from China, the Soviet Union, Britain, France, Australia, and more. The world had quite literally come together for this moment. There was little ceremony. The air was thick, not with celebration, but with relief and the solemn gravity of history. MacArthur's words sliced through the silence. General Douglas MacArthur said, "We are gathered here, representatives of the major warring powers, to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. On the table, the instrument of surrender. A few sheets of paper that would end World War II and change the fate of millions." General Yoshijiro Umezu, chief of the Japanese army, stepped forward to sign for the military. Shigemitsu for the government. Their hands hardly trembled, even as hundreds of cameras recorded every second from all angles. It would be broadcast and photographed across an exhausted globe. The ink used to sign the surrender wasn't ordinary. MacArthur provided 5 different pens. He later gave them away as mementos to significant figures, including General Wainwright, survivor of the Bataan Death March, and General Percival, who had endured captivity after the fall of Singapore. A silent gesture that said, "We remember." After the Japanese signatures, MacArthur signed next. Then representatives from the Allied nations followed, sealing the victory. Each signature, an end to the violence. The whole thing took just 23 minutes. And outside, an Armada, over 250 Allied warships, stood watch in the bay, their crews lining the decks in white uniforms, silent witnesses to the new era that was beginning. Just a few weeks before, city after city in Japan had been reduced to rubble by firebombs. Hiroshima and Nagasaki had disappeared in nuclear fire. The world had glimpsed horrors never imagined before. Millions dead, millions more displaced or scarred for life. And now, on a table aboard a battleship built in New York, named for the Show of Missouri, World War II's end wasn't a bang, but the scratching of pens on official paper. One detail you might have missed: a tiny American flag fluttered beside the table. It was the very flag that had flown above the U.S. Capitol on December 7th, 1941, the day of Pearl Harbor. The war had come full circle. As the ceremony ended, MacArthur addressed not just the people on the deck, but the whole of humanity. He spoke of hope, not vengeance. He urged, General Douglas MacArthur said, "It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion, a better world shall emerge." Then, in a move unplanned, Allied planes, more than 450 of them, roared overhead in tight formation. It was the largest flyover in history. The sound was deafening, a triumphant echo that drowned out even the memory of bombs falling, but also a promise. Never again, if we can help it. For Japan, surrender meant occupation, transformation, and an uncertain future. For the world, it brought questions. Could peace hold? Would there ever be another war on this scale? No one knew. But on that September morning, as the USS Missouri left Tokyo Bay, millions wept, embraced, and gathered around radios relaying the message. World War II was officially over. The war that had consumed continents, demanding so much suffering, courage, and sacrifice, ended not in further destruction, but with words and signatures. MacArthur's declaration echoed out to the world. General Douglas MacArthur said, "These proceedings are closed. But for Japan, for the Allies, for every survivor, the real journey, one of healing, rebuilding, and reckoning, had only just begun. Even today, the deck of the USS Missouri is a silent witness. Visitors can still stand at the very spot where that historic surrender took place, marked out in brass. They look down and realize how fragile, how precious peace really is. So next time you see a newsreel from 1945 or a simple photo of solemn men at a table on a ship, remember, that was the moment the world exhaled. Not just an ending, but the very first breath of something new. And in the shadow of that day, the day war officially ended, the challenge remains. Will we ever truly learn from the past? Or will we wait until history's eyes are upon us once again? The answer, as always, is up to us. Think about that, and I'll see you in the next episode.